Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new, my name is Harmony, and in today's video I'm going to be doing my labor and delivery story time as a surrogate. I don't know exactly what I'm titling this video, but basically if you guys are a new subscriber of mine, I have a labor and delivery vlog, so go watch that first so you guys can kind of see what happened, and now I'm going to be explaining it. So if you guys have already watched that video, now I'm going to be kind of explaining to you guys what happened and all that stuff, because it was literally the craziest experience of my entire life. I'm just gonna kind of tell you guys what happened. So if you guys are interested in knowing what happened during my labor and delivery, then just keep watching. If you guys saw my delivery vlog, I had to be induced. So the reason why I had to be induced, in case, I don't think I ever even said that on my YouTube channel, but just so you guys know, the reason I was induced was because I'm not a doctor, so don't judge me. I don't know all the terminologies, but basically something was wrong with, not wrong, my placenta and the umbilical cord, like it was not directly in the center, it was to the side. So for whatever reason, my doctor didn't want me to go past my due date, which was December 4th. So I was scheduled to be induced on December 2nd. So I would have the baby most likely by December 3rd. I went to the hospital at 11 o'clock on December 2nd to be induced. I had gone to the doctor a week prior and I was not dilated at all. So I think that I'm just a late deliverer, because with my son, he was 5 days late and I had to be induced. So I think that with all my pregnancies, I'm probably going to have to be induced, or I'm going to go past my due date if they let me. They said that they would have let me go past my due date if the umbilical cord thing wasn't all jacked up, but it is what it is. I had to be induced and it is what it is. So I went to the hospital at 11, did all the paperwork. I met the parents, which was amazing, and it was just, I got so lucky with them. They admitted me, got me into a room, and at 12:45 they did my first pill. So they checked me. I was 1 centimeter dilated. I was closed, thick, you know, they had to get things going. So they put the first pill inside me, which is this like tiny little pill, and they stick it up you, which hurt really, really bad. And I was literally so shook with how much that hurt, because it just did not feel good. So after that, it was about, like I said, 1 o'clock, and I wasn't really feeling anything. I was feeling contractions, but not anything painful. It was just like uncomfortable cramping. Some time goes by and the next pill is scheduled for 4:45. So 4:45 comes around, they do the second pill, and she said it was a higher dosage of whatever it is that pill is. They put the second pill in, and again, it hurt, but not as bad as the first time. The first time was just terrible. And so then she gives me the second pill, and she's like, okay, just relax for a little bit. They put you on the monitor, so I'm just laying there. And I asked her if I could have Starbucks, which was kind of a mistake, and I will tell you guys why in a second. So I had eaten prior, and then I had the Starbucks. So around this time, it was probably like 7, and I started feeling like a little bit more contractions, but still nothing painful. So then around like 7:45, I needed to take a shit. So I go to the bathroom to poop, because I did not want to poop while I was in labor. So I was like, okay, I need to poop now, so I'm gonna poop. So I went to the bathroom, I went poop, came out, thank God, and it was fine. And then at 8 is when I started to really feel contractions, and it was like that. And at this point, I was 3.5 centimeters. So I was hurting. Like, I'm telling you guys, like, this pain was really, really hard. If you guys see my labor and delivery vlog, like, I was sitting there holding my friend's hand, and I was just trying to breathe through the contractions, but it was hurting. My contractions were like, at this point, I think they were like 3 to 4 minutes apart, and my friends were just in the room. Like, the nurse was not anywhere there, and my friends were like looking at the monitor, and my friend Alyssa is like really, really smart, and she was like, I think that this is the heartbeat, and this is a contraction, and like she like figured out the little machine and what it meant. And I was just in so much pain. So I dealt with that for probably like 30 minutes, and then I kept feeling the urge to pee and poop. So I would go to the bathroom, I would pee, and then I would go lay back down, and I would go to the bathroom and pee. And then I think around 8:45, I needed to throw up. Like, I felt nauseous. In the video, I said, I was like, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. So I ended up going to the bathroom and hella throwing up. And it was disgusting because it was pretty much the Starbucks that I had shoved down my throat. And Lorena was holding the little, like, barf bag. And her face was, like, disgusted because it was disgusting. But sorry, that's what she gets, because that bitch has thrown up on me multiple times, so I didn't even feel bad. So I threw up, and at that point I was sitting on the toilet just miserable, and I told my friends, I was like, I want the epidural, like, just tell them to give me epidural, I don't care. So then at that moment, everything just went so fast. So I asked for the epidural. They went to go tell the nurse, and the nurse came and was like, okay, we'll call the anesthesiologist. So then about 10 minutes goes by, and the anesthesiologist was still not there. And at this point, it was about 9 o'clock, and you could see me on the bed laying there, like, on my side, curled up, dying. Like, I was in so much pain. I felt so much pressure down there. Like, I just felt the urge to shit, and they were like, it's not. When I was in the bathroom, I kept saying, I need a shit, and the nurse was like, you need to lay down. So she had made me lay down. She checked me, and she was like, you're 10 centimeters dilated. I was like, what? Are you freaking kidding me? Like, I was just 3.5 centimeters dilated at 8:45, and she's like, yeah, well, things can go faster when it's your second pregnancy. I'm like, oh my God. So that's why in the video, I was literally in so much pain, and I was freaking out because it just happened so fast. Like, I was not expecting it to happen that fast, and that's why the parents weren't there, because they had told them that they can go home probably around like 6. They were like, oh, it's gonna be a while, like, she's progressing really slow, it'll be a while, she probably won't deliver till tomorrow, but we'll call you around when she's around 4 centimeters dilated so that you guys can come back. So when I was 3.5 centimeters dilated and I started feeling pain, my friend Alyssa texted them and told them, like, hey, you guys should probably come, like, things are kind of picking up fast. Well, little did we know the baby was going to be born in 25 minutes. So anyway, the parents weren't able to make it to the actual birth, which I was really sad about. You could see in the video I was, like, freaking out, but there was literally nothing I could do. Like, this baby was coming. So I felt so much pressure, and I was not able to get the epidural because it was just too late. Like, I was not going to be able to sit still for that damn epidural. And at that point, I was just ready to push the baby out, and I felt the urge to push. When I went to labor with my son, I was about 4 centimeters dilated when I finally asked for the epidural. And I think that at that point, I had been in labor for like 9 hours dealing with that excruciating pain. And I just couldn't do it anymore. And the nurse was like, it's fine, just get the epidural. So I ended up getting the epidural, and it was so much better. And with this one, it was so different because I didn't even care. I was like, just get this baby the fuck out of me. Like, I am in so much pain. It literally feels like when you have to take the biggest shit in the world, that's what it feels like. I was literally begging them to let me push. Like, please let me push, please. And they're like, no, we want to get a doctor, which looking back, I should have just pushed, because I think the nurses are trained to deliver babies. They should be. If you're working in like labor and delivery, I would assume that you're trained to deliver babies. But for some reason, they were like, no, you need to wait for this doctor. And then this doctor was in another delivery. And then it was just like so long. It was literally the longest 10 minutes of my entire life. The doctor finally came, and the nurse was like, okay, like, when you're ready, you could turn over. I said, bet. So I turned over real fast, put my legs up. I already knew, like, the drill for when I had my son. When you have an epidural, it's really kind of hard to push because you can't feel anything. And everyone's different. Epidural, sometimes it doesn't work on some people. Sometimes it doesn't work on one side. Like, it's weird. That's why some people are against it. But, I mean, to each their own. I got it with my son. I didn't regret it at all. But with this one, I just wasn't able to get it. So they were like, okay, you're going to push, but you can't record. So I was like, what the fuck? Like, you can take pictures, but you can't record. I was like, so anyway, I didn't get to record that like 10-second part because I literally only pushed once. So Lorena was holding one leg, Alyssa was holding the other leg, and I grabbed my legs and they said, okay, when you're ready, push. So I pushed and he just shot out like a rocket, and he just came out, and then they just put him on my chest. They had asked me if I wanted him to be on my chest or in the warmer, if you guys saw that in the video. And I know some people were commenting saying like, oh, that's why you were sad after, because you held him. And honestly, I can't imagine not holding him. Like, I carried him in my body for 9 months. Like, I never felt like that kind of connection with him. I never allowed myself to get an emotional connection to him like I did with my son. I didn't really talk to him. I didn't really like read to him. I wasn't like, oh, like, you know, it was very like, I'm babysitting. That's the mentality I had. Like, I'm only babysitting for 9 months and then I'm going to give him to his parents. That's the mentality I had throughout my entire pregnancy. But after he was born and they put him on me, I was like, holy shit, this is a real baby. Like, I know it sounds so stupid, but I was just literally in shock. And you could see in the video, my face was in shock. Like, you guys, like, I swear I went into a shock. I was like, for a good minute, I was just stuck. And so I cut the umbilical cord, and the baby was just on me, just chilling. Like, he was just laying there, and he was so calm, and he didn't cry at all. Like, usually when babies come out, they cry, and he did not cry. I was like, is he okay? Like, why isn't he crying? He was just chilling. And it was just the most amazing experience I've ever felt. And then obviously I started crying, and I just am an emotional person as is. So of course, like, I cried. I bawled my eyes out when my son was born. And so they were like stitching me up. And the part that hurt the most was not necessarily the stitching, but it was when they got my placenta out, because usually you just push it out. But since I told you guys my umbilical cord was like off to the side, it caused it to break. And so she had to literally reach her whole ass arm inside of me and like scrape my uterus and make sure that everything was out from the placenta, which took probably like 20 minutes, maybe longer, definitely longer than my labor was, or like the time that I was like about to push. And it hurt so bad. Like, they gave me something in my IV to help me not feel as much pain. Since I didn't get that epidural, I could feel everything, and it was like, oh, so excruciating. So then after they finish that, they like rub on your stomach, and all of this like stuff comes out, and it's just, it's so gross. If you guys have ever been through labor, you guys understand what I'm saying. If you guys are about to go through labor, sorry, I'm like scarring you. But yeah, it was definitely crazy. It was crazy. So then after they cleaned me up and everything, then the parents came and they got to meet their son for the first time, which was so amazing. And they were so happy, and everyone in the room was crying, and it was just so emotional and so many like good vibes. And it was just like the craziest, most beautiful experience that I have ever felt in my entire life. Besides when my son was born, which I feel like I always say, but when my son was born, like, that literally changed my entire life, and I was just so in love. I never knew that I could feel that kind of love until I laid eyes on my son. And that is why I obviously want to have more kids, because like, I want to feel that feeling again with more, more times. And I want to give my son more siblings. I want to give my son siblings, because I don't have any siblings. I'm an only child, and I wish that I wasn't. I wish I had a sibling. I wish that I had multiple siblings, but I don't. And that's okay. Obviously, everything happens for a reason. But I would really like to give my son some siblings. And yeah, so I definitely don't regret doing this at all. I feel like it is definitely helped me grow up a lot. It made me realize a lot, being sober for the whole year. Like, I never was really into drinking and stuff like that as is. Like, I would do it occasionally with my friends. Obviously, like, I'm young. I did a lot, party a lot when I was like 21, which I feel like is just normal. Maybe not. Some people after they have kids are like, have no need to ever go out. But I felt like I still wanted to have fun, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But anyway, this year being 24, I turned 24 in February and I got pregnant in March. So my entire pretty much 24th year of life, I was sober, which was an amazing experience. And I know that might sound weird, but just seeing everything from a completely sober state of mind made me realize a lot of things, and it just made me look at life a little bit different. And I'm just so glad that I got to experience this thing in my life. And going through pregnancy, being single, was by far one of the top 3 hardest things that I've ever had to do in my life. It tested me a lot. It made me feel hella lonely. It made me want a boyfriend. And I'm not the type of person who like necessarily wants a boyfriend. I like being alone. Sometimes I do crave like a companionship, but for the most part, I feel like I've been so scarred from my past 3 relationships. My first relationship was really toxic and we were young. My second relationship was with my son's dad and we were very, very toxic, and he was very, very controlling, very, very jealous, and that scarred me. And then my previous boyfriend, who we broke up almost 4 years ago, he cheated on me, and so that scarred me. So I feel like I'm just kind of like a little scared of relationships. I don't want to let the world make my heart cold, and I feel like I'm kind of at that verge where I'm like, I don't give a about anything except for like my son, and I don't want to get to that point because I want to get married someday. I want to have more kids, and I know that if I have that mentality of like love guys, like I'm never gonna find anybody. So I'm trying to not think like that, but it's really hard sometimes. I just vented about stupid shit that has nothing to do with this video, but maybe you guys can relate. I don't know. I hope that you guys enjoy this video. For the new year, I have so many video ideas and I have so many things that I want to share with you guys, so many things I want to do for my channel. So I hope you guys subscribe to my channel so you guys can watch my videos and keep up with me. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments down below and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and like I said, don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe to my channel. Okay? All right, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.